When it comes to coaching, the vast majority of coaches are really not trying to give you success. Now, they would disagree. If they're watching now, they're mad right now. But it's true, most aren't. Most are worried about making you feel good. Most people who want coaching don't actually want to get better. They want to feel good. And when you put them together, they're both happy. You have a lot of people who are paying money back and forth to be happy. And that's great, good for you. When I coach someone, they will become successful. That's what I do. I am not here to make you feel good. I'm not here to say, you're doing a good job, you could do it. It's not what I do. I'm about asking you, what are we here to achieve? Let's achieve it. Let's do this. I'm not gonna say, as most coaches do, and most coaches will happily say this, they will say, look, I don't have the answers. The answers are on you. My job as a coach is to get those answers out of you. That's the most common way that people believe coaching works. I do not. If you're looking for a coach who will simply hold you accountable and make you feel bad if you don't do things, or who will help you, just set up your vision board or something like that. Things that make you feel good. If you're looking for that, this isn't for you. Go get a coach. Go subscribe to one of those daily blogs that give you the warm and fuzzy email in the morning. Get that. That's going to be a better bet for you. The university is for 3 different types of people. The first one is a new sales rep or a sales rep in a slump who doesn't know why they're not doing well and needs to figure it out. That person will gain a great process, will see what they're doing wrong, will get better, and will see almost magical results.
As a small business owner, you're really not taught anything about running a business. And one of my weaknesses that I discovered really early on was sales. And I can get in front of clients and talk to them and really talk about my business, but I really didn't have a sales process for bringing clients from the prospect stage to actual being clients for Avenue X Group. And so I contacted Larry and took several of his courses. And what Larry gives you is a process for bringing your prospect through a sales funnel to actually becoming a client at your firm.
The second person this is for a leader who probably has good technical skills, very good at what they do, but is a little bit lacking in those soft skills. This course will help them. This university will get them to go to that next level. The higher you move up in the hierarchy, the more you have to have the soft skills. Many of them don't have those soft skills. This will help them to lead better.
I think that every customer service department really should have this training at regular intervals, and then a top-up training every since to make sure that there aren't bad habits moving back into the game.
The third person is the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur who either does it very well or can sell relatively well, but needs to learn how to sell better, more efficiently, and also lead better and get other people to assist, whether those are contractors, employees, partners, so they can control the people in his or her world. Understanding that to be an entrepreneur, it's not only about doing, it's also about making sure things get done.
But what Larry does is basically helped solidified or clarified the way an entrepreneur needs to think, as a business owner needs to think. And it's funny because most people are, you're a lawyer, but I'm also an entrepreneur. And Larry has been, very direct, very, almost to the point of being inspirational in the way that he views, the role that we have in society as business owners.
What does someone get when they join a university? Well, if you join a university, what you're going to get is you're going to get access to video sales training. How do you get a client? How do you prospect? How do you pitch that client? How do you have a discussion with that client? Questions and answers with that client? How do you propose to that client? How do you close that client for the right price, for the highest price you can possibly get?
The most impactful thing I learned from Larry during the you-based selling method was the actual term you-based. Because as small business owners, we put so much work into our company that we love our company, right? And we wanted to see it succeed. But the problem is the client doesn't know anything about our company. So we start talking about how great our company is, not how great it is for the client. So the idea of you-based really puts things in perspective that the client needs to understand why we are the best option for them.
We actually did a one-on-one course in his office when he used to have his office on Park Avenue. I went through his you-based sales course, and I found it to be incredibly enlightening in what the real motivations for people were and how to influence them, because that's really what he teaches you, is how to influence people. Immediately upon applying some of his practices, I saw immediate success. And a lot of things were very simple. It wasn't very complicated. It was just a different way of saying things, a different way of approaching things. So I found it to be immediately successful and impactful in my business.
You'll also get access to leadership training. How do you set goals? How do you set mandates? How do you do performance management? How do you deal with conflict? How do you negotiate? How do you have tough conversations? How do you be strategic in your thinking? How do you make good decisions? And then how do you do critical thinking? All those parts you'll gain.
If you're going to work, you might as well work smarter rather than harder. If you're going to spend that time communicating, why not do it effectively rather than just making the same mistakes time and time again and doing them more or making those mistakes more often.
So you're also going to gain training on being an entrepreneur. How do you change your mindset from that employee or contract employee to an actual entrepreneur, someone who's actually running a business?
He understands the needs of business owners. And he is a person who has helped me help grow my business, because I meet with him every week. We have a phone call. So if we have 1 week, we have a phone call, 30 minutes. The next week, we have a 2-hour in-person meeting. We've been doing this for the last 2 years.
But you're also going to get access to a forum where you'll see other people who will talk about what they're doing and how they're making things happen. In addition, you'll get access to me. I'll be able to answer your questions through the forum, through email, through videos, and you'll also get all the new material that I come up with. New material every month or every week will pop up, new things you'll get. So you'll get ideas on customer service, ideas on dealing with personal relationships, ideas and tips for making your customers happier or selling different processes or certain ideas. And also you'll be able to get access to me via webinars, live events, Q&A, things like that other people won't get.
I always feel, although Larry has a very sales background, and you know that, and salespeople tend to have that sales reputation, Larry really does listen. And I think that's the main thing that I took away, is his ability to really listen to your problem. He's not just hearing you, he understands what you're going through, and he gives you advice that's really directed to what you're doing. It's not just this general advice, it's very directed advice, and it's important that you really feel like he's taking time to listen to you and understand your problems. And I think it really makes you feel comfortable with him and with the product, and trying to make sure that, you know, you're doing the best you can by making sure you listen to what he's saying and following through.
The members of the university are going to be more confident in everything they do, which means they'll be more successful in what they do. If you're in sales, you're going to get better quality. And when I say quality, I mean the right fit. The prospects that you need, you're going to close more of them, and you're going to close them at higher price points than you ever have before. In addition to that, you're going to get more referrals and more repeat business and more upsells.
Personally, my book of business has tripled since I've worked with Larry.
I would say that my closing percentage, out of every 10 people that I was meeting with in terms of a prospect, went from about 25% to about 45%. So I pretty much doubled that, which is good in sales. And if you can average, 50% closing rate, you're going to be doing pretty good. I think that was immediate impact of working with him.
Having a great method means if you're really good at what you do, you can get the word out there and get people interested in what you do. And that's what Larry gave us.
If you're a leader, you're going to lead better, meaning you're going to get more out of your people, they're going to react faster, and the best part is you're going to have to lead less because they're going to lead themselves.
When this company has had challenges, we've reached out to Larry Sharp.
I can tell you that I'm a completely different person professionally than I was before Larry came in. Larry really made me look at things in a different light and really put a perspective on things for me.
I believe that if I had not met Larry Sharp, I would not be managing partner today.
If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to figure out how to organize, you're going to figure out how to lead your people and change your business model to where it works best for you. Whether that's hiring people, whether that's building more product, whether that's leading the people you have, who do you want to use? You'll actually change maybe even your price points, some of your products or services. You become a more efficient leader and a more efficient entrepreneur. You'll make more money, and here's the most important part, and you'll work less.
Without adopting the U-based sales method during the recession, we would have had a very hard time moving forward as a business, and I'm not sure where would we even be right now.
For me, he's been an integral part of my success and development as a business owner.
Working with Larry Sharp is probably one of the best decisions you could ever make for your business. He will completely turn your business around and change the culture of the employees to be a more productive and successful company.
If you're thinking about working with Larry, I would say it's a great opportunity to gain confidence in yourself. One of the main things that he does is listen. And I think that's part of it, is just being able to talk to someone who truthfully feel like they're listening to you, and he gives you good advice. He's not telling you what to do as much as he's guiding you in the proper way to do what you're already good at doing. He's not trying to change people. He looks at what you're already good at doing and just makes it better. Finds a way for you to really emphasize your strengths. And that's really important.
Investing in Neosage University would be a terrific decision for any business, because once you decide to invest in that, you will be reaping the rewards for years to come.
Smaller companies that I cut my teeth on will now have access to what I wish I had when I was one of those smaller companies. Right? When I was stepping up, when I was a two-person shop, when I was a one-person shop, when I didn't have a big budget for training, there was no place for me to go. I had to literally pick up a book and try to read and figure it out. If I had this university, I would have moved forward a lot faster. So now they can do what I wish I could have done.